Wow, yeah, hello everyone. My name is Chromatic. Let's play a little bit of Snatcher. Mainly because it's almost Christmas, and Snatcher, in my opinion, is still one of the best Christmas games of all time. I know people are going to argue about that, but it is what it is. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. So yes, welcome to Snatcher. This is a Hideo Kojima game, even though it doesn't quite say that because I don't think he ever really started using that until like, what, Metal Gear Solid 2, I think? But regardless, this is the Sega CD version that was localized in English for the North America and European releases. I think from what I remember, this one, you could use the light gun for the Sega Genesis, Sega CD attachment. That was kind of like one of the reasons for making the North American and European releases to begin with. So let's go ahead and start a new game here. Hi Nina, welcome to the chat. This looks good. I'll go over controls eventually here in a little bit, but I'm gonna try and not talk over the intro here because it is genuinely one of the best intros I've ever come across, in my opinion. I'll probably only jump in and just kind of point some stuff out if needed. But this is a updated re-release of the original MSX PC release in 1988. This was re-released several more times on the PC Engine.
1996.
And the Sega CD here.
A mysterious explosion destroys the Chernobyl research facility near Moscow. Lucifer Alpha, a powerful biological weapon under secret development there, is released into the atmosphere, creating a deadly biohazard. Carried by the trade winds, Lucifer Alpha spreads throughout Eastern Europe and Eurasia, destroying 80% of the populace. Half of the world's people die. The greatest biohazard in history later becomes known simply as the catastrophe. But at this time, who could have possibly imagined that the ultimate biohazard wouldn't occur for another half-century? 50 years later, mankind faces its greatest crisis. The appearance of a mysterious android life form. Its purpose and origin are unknown. Is it a new form of weapon? Or perhaps an invasion from some other world? They appear during winter, killing humans and infiltrating society by taking the place of their victims. Employing an artificial skin, they can sweat and even bleed. Part organic, part machine, they're almost impossible to distinguish from those they kill. As they steal their victims' bodies in order to take their place, these mysterious invaders become known as Snatchers.
As you'll probably see here, this is a mix of like 3 different movies that have probably were the inspiration for Kojima in this game. Terminator, Blade Runner, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I still haven't watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers yet, but the former 2 I definitely have. They're definitely worth checking out.
work? Everything okay?
Gillian, what is it? What's wrong?
Jamie, I've become a junker.
A junker? Gillian, but why?
Jamie, you know why. It's the only way we can regain our lost memories. Snatcher is the only word that keeps coming back every time we try to remember our pasts. I have to face them to find out why.
Yes, but I can sense that there is something terrible hidden in our past. And if we remember it, it will destroy us.
Jamie! I'm going now. Jamie!
What? I can't hear you!
Gillian Seed, estimated age 31. 3 years ago, he and his wife, Jamie Seed, are taken into protective custody in the Siberian Neutral Zone by the 17th Siberian Investigative Force. Both Gillian and Jamie suffer from severe amnesia. Their memories of events prior to being picked up in Siberia lost in a mysterious mental fog. 2 years ago, after a vain attempt to rebuild their marriage, Jamie and Gillian separate. Following extensive special military training, Gillian is ordered to report to Neo-Kobe City as a junker, effective today.
I do have to point out that Michael Blaustein was... Oh well, no, not Michael Blaustein. Jeremy Blaustein was part of the localization team responsible for Metal Gear Solid's English release as well, and the early runs of Pokemon, the series itself. I don't think it's the same guy either, Nina. So yeah, this is a text adventure game, or a visual novel, depending on how you want to call it. If you've ever played similar games like Phoenix Wright, it's a lot of investigating, a lot of going through text options and trying to less point and click like Phoenix Wright does it. This is more trying to figure out options between menus, and you do have to do a little bit of Googling, and I will show that off in game as well. They have a database later on that we'll get to, and it's also one of the main ways to gather information and clues as to what you're supposed to do next. So we have Mika here, who is sitting in this pod. Kind of hard to see the glass and casing around it, but welcome to Junker Headquarters. How may I help you? So we have our options here. We can look at the scenery here. We can investigate stuff too. I don't really know what the difference is really between these two. In some cases, it will unlock more options, but for instance, like if you were to investigate Mika, the operator, it's no use. She's protected by a shield. Well, yes, clearly. But we can also look at the operator too. She's a beautiful Oriental woman. Not sure if Oriental is probably the best description, as we'll see in a little bit. Basically, all we need to do is basically try and enter the building, where she will basically tell us off and say that authorized personnel are allowed beyond this point, which, fair enough. And it gives us the option to actually talk to Mika, which we'll go ahead and do.
I'm Gillian Seed. I've been assigned to Junker Headquarters effective today.
Oh, you're Mr. Seed. Please forgive me. My name is Mika Slayton. I'm the administrative assistant and operator here at Junker Headquarters. Very pleased to meet you.
I feel like look and investigate differences are the same as perception and investigation differences in D&D. I would actually agree with that. That's probably like the best way to describe this. So we can ask her some questions too, to kind of, and this is the game's way of basically introducing us to the world, or building the lore, so to speak. So let's ask about all these things. What do I perceive versus what can I dig deeper into? Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it. So let's ask her about Junker Operations itself. Could you tell me a little bit about Junker Operations? The Junkers are a special task force put together to combat the Bioroid Snatcher menace. It's overseen by government intelligence agencies. Let's ask her about Neo Kobe. This is my first time in town. Oh, you'll get used to it right away. Everybody's pretty welcome. There are many different ethnic groups and types of people here. It's Japan, but it's not Japan, if you know what I mean. And let's ask about her. Tell me a little bit about yourself. About me? Isn't that a little bit forward, Mr. Seed? Let me tell you about myself first. Maybe then you'll tell me. I can tell you're very smooth with the ladies. This is going to be a recurring theme with Hideo Kojima protagonists. It's very 80s cyberpunk coded, which yeah, it's like released around that time. It is a good aesthetic. I definitely agree with that. This and the spiritual follow-up, which is Police Knots, which I still need to play at some point, are both in the same style of this text adventure visual novel thing, where here you are playing as basically the equivalent of Blade Runner, or as a detective trying to hunt down the titular Snatchers. Police Knots is basically about you as a police officer who is also an astronaut. I still need to play it one of these days. Maybe I'll get to it sometime in the new year. We'll see. So now that we've pretty much gotten our bearings here, let's try and enter again.
Mr. Seed?
Gillian's fine, and you can call me Gillian, Mika.
Okay, Gillian. I'll open the main door and show you around headquarters.
Where shall I show you first? So here's the thing. If I pick any of these other options, we're still gonna get redirected to the chief's office anyways, so the game almost expects you to pick the chief's office since it's the first on the list, so I mean, and may as well.
Chief Cunningham, Gillian Seed is here. I brought him in as you requested.
Thanks for coming, Seed. I'm Benson Cunningham, the Chief of Junker Operations.
Gillian Seed, I've been transferred here from the 17th Special Forces Division.
I've heard all about your special training in the military, Seed. I hope you'll put it to good use on your new assignment here. By the way, I understand you're suffering from amnesia. Any sign yet that your memory's coming back?
I'm afraid not. I still can't remember a thing from before the Army picked me up 3 years ago.
You're married, aren't you?
Yes, but we're separated now. She has amnesia as well, and without any memories between the two of us, I'm afraid there was very little to base a good relationship on.
I can see your point there.
Chief Cunningham, yeah, he's the man of this headquarters at least. I'm pretty sure he's a good source of information, so we may as well ask him about, well, most other things. So let's ask him about Junkers. Junker headquarters was set up a year ago by the police as a special task force to combat the Snatcher problem. Junker operations were officially started in August of this year. We answered directly to the government's intelligence agencies. A Junker operates with certain rules and privileges different from regular police officers. Those are: Number 1, the purpose of the Junker force is to eliminate Bioroid Snatchers. A Junker, even in the course of carrying out Number 1, must not harm innocent civilians. Well, yeah, very important. A subject may not be physically investigated or restrained unless irrefutable evidence exists that indicates the subject is indeed a Snatcher. A Junker is required to assist and support civilian bounty hunters. Bounty hunters being bolded here or colored in red there's a reason for that. In order to carry out one, a Junker is allowed the use of a blaster and a navigator and a turbocycle. This will be our primary means of moving around different locations in the city, and the blaster is basically one of the other gameplay mechanics. Those are the 5 rules. Simple enough. So A Junker's job is to figure out who the Snatchers are and to eliminate them. I want you to put your special training in the military to good use and investigate those points about Snatchers that we don't yet understand. We've got to put a stop to them. Yeah, fair enough. So who else is considered staff here? A Junker's job is highly specialized and extremely dangerous. That's why there are so few of us. I'm the chief, Harry's the engineer, we still haven't met Harry yet, and then there's Mika. Gibson and you are our runners. They're not even really trying to hide it at this point. We'll meet Gibson later. It's just the 5 of us. So yeah, like, there's only 5 people who are assigned to this special investigative branch. And really it's just you as Gillian Seed and Gibson, who we haven't met yet, are the are the Blade Runners. Let's ask about Snatchers. Yes, 3 years ago the Snatchers suddenly appeared here in Miyokobe, and farewell to you. We have no idea where they come from or what they want. We do know that they kill, copy the appearance of their victims, and take their place in society, and that their numbers are increasing.
That should be enough to make your duties as a Junker quite clear. This is your Junker ID card. It will identify you as a Junker. Carrying it allows you to exercise your special authority.
I see. Sort of like a police officer's badge, huh?
And here's some money. It's not much, but you'll need it to carry out your investigation.
Cash?
Credit cards aren't accepted in some regions of the city. You'll need this sooner or later.
Sounds like it's a rough place out there.
Go see Harry, the engineer. He's got your equipment ready for you.
And yeah, let's go ahead and do just that. So we do have a new option here called Possessions, which is basically just what our inventory is. And all we have is Junker ID and cash. So let's move on to the engineering room and talk to Harry. This is engineering. All the Junkers, that is the runners, equipment is made here. It doesn't look like Harry's around at the moment. Well, shucks. We'll cut back some other time. Let's go to the detective's room this time. This is the detective's room. It's the office for our runners. That's what we call Junker investigators like you. You'll be using that desk in the back. What about this desk near the door here? That's John's desk. John Jack Gibson. He's our ace runner, and the only other runner besides you. Even so, John's got an 18-year-old daughter. A daughter, eh? Her name's Katrina. So I suppose we'll be taking the far desk. Looks like a nice desk, but I probably won't be using it much. Yeah, fair enough. Let's may as well ask and gather some more information about the people that we're going to be working with. Harry Benson is our engineer. He's a bit of a lush, but he's a friendly and sweet old guy. Every Junker investigator gets an analysis robot. Quite a combination, eh? We call the robots navigators. Gibson's wife was killed by a Snatcher 2 years ago. After that, he quit his detective job and became a Junker. Since then, he's been living with his daughter Katrina. She's John's only child. She turned 18 this year. And that's really all we know about her? Okay, sure. Let's try the computer room. This is Junker Headquarters computer room. It's linked to databases throughout the country, so you can find almost any information you might need. The thing I was talking earlier about doing some Googling in-game, well, this is the place to do that. We can check out the computer here. Antiques in the computer room, eh? I haven't seen a keyboard in some time. I guess the implication is that everything in the future in 2047 is touch now? A number of input and output devices are linked to the host computer. Disgusting touchscreens. Yeah, I am not looking forward to the day when everything is pretty much a touchscreen. I am definitely gonna miss the feeling of like just being able to tangibly hold something and interact with something and the feedback that it gives. And that's why I like mechanical keyboards a lot. The only other place that we can check out here is the shooting range. This is the shooting range. Junkers come here to improve their marksmanship. We have the option to practice here, but... Gillian, you haven't got your blaster yet, have you? Let's hurry and go visit Harry. Well, we did, but he wasn't there earlier, so... Come on, let's go see Harry. But I think I should get some practice in first. Yes, but... Come on, let me take a crack at it. Alright, if you must practice, I'll let you use my ray gun. But it doesn't have the power of a blaster, is that okay? Yeah, thanks Mika. Okay, let's start shooting practice. If you press the A button, you can draw your blaster. Press C to fire. You can put your blaster away by pressing the A button again. Nina, by ray gun, are we both thinking of the same thing? Are we both thinking of Yu Yu Hakusho by chance? Are you ready? Remember, shoot only snatchers. Be careful you don't hit any civilians. Very important. The red gauge on the left shows the number of targets to appear. The yellow gauge on the right shows the number of hits. I'll start it on introductory level. Good luck! So A to repair blaster, C to fire, and this is about as close as it gets to anything point and click. Yes, but also the Australian, but yeah, ray gun. Oh my gosh, you're right. You're basically just shoot at the snatchers. That's all there is to it. I am using a joypad right now because I don't have a light gun that will actually work with this. Fantastic, a perfect score. You're quite a shot, aren't you, Gillian? Well, thanks. Wow, a perfect score right off the bat. I bet you've done this before, haven't you? Maybe a couple of times. Yes, thank you. Yep, it definitely used the light gun. So the story goes, there was an arcade port, or there was a Sega CD port of Lethal Enforcers, which is another Konami light gun game that was that had an arcade cabinet where, again, yeah, I mean it was a light gun game. It got ported to Sega CD. It made use of the light gun attachment for the Genesis, which could also be used for the Sega CD, and that was also, I think, like one of the main reasons why they decided to bring or create a updated re-release of this game, Snatcher, on the Sega CD for the North American and European release or territories. No, ma'am. First time out. Well, I mean, I can't stand liars, you know. It's due to all that practice I had in the military, Mika. It's due to all the practice that I've had running this game several times. Fantastic, and no wasted shots either. John will be surprised. The game does know. There's like, it's something that gets carried over into future games. I mean, the future quote-unquote Hideo Kojima games. It's DDLC. It is DDLC all over again. Where if you do something, or if you do things out of turn, or you like sequence break something, or you just know a solution right off the bat, and the game will just immediately, like, the writing or the game script will trigger a flag where it's going to try and be cheeky about it. It's like, you've done this before, haven't you? Which in my case, yeah, of course. Okay, let's stop faffing about and actually go see Harry this time. Now all we need to do is find Harry. I love that, honestly, about games. Honestly, me too. That's one of the reasons why I really like these games so much. So let's go back to the engineering room. It's a marker of soul. Indeed. 100%. Harry's got to be back right by now. Well, yeah, I would hope so, considering the amount of exploring that we've done. I don't know, he's quite a freewheeling type.
Oh, good, Harry's back.
Great to meet you. You're Gillian Seed, right? Haven't we met somewhere before?
No, I don't believe so.
Really? I guess I must be imagining things.
We've definitely never met this person before. This is the first time we're playing this game, of course. So, we could look around. Somehow I get the same impression. Have I met this guy somewhere? What's wrong? Do I have something hanging from my nose? There's a poster and a photograph on the wall. This looks like a poster from the late 20th century. So we do have the obvious Madonna poster in the background there. In other versions of Snatcher, it is a different poster. I forget which ones they are specifically, but... What, you know who she is? You've got good taste for a youngster. And about the photo... It's the picture that was on the wall. Aw, it's him as a kid. It's a photograph of a small boy. That's a picture of me as a kid. It's my only memory of my childhood. So we apparently both have, well, amnesia? No, he has to have remembered it, right? So, first things first, let's ask about what a navigator is. So, referring back to what Mika was talking about earlier, every junker is assigned one. So who's our navigator?
I know. All right, allow me to introduce the Navigator, which I designed especially for you. Hey, Metal Gear, get out here.
And of course, the music playing right now is Theme of Tara, which is the first area music of Metal Gear 1 on the MSX.
Metal, introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Pleased to meet you, Gillian. I am Metal Gear Mach 2. I am programmed to be your personal assistant.
Metal Gear? That's a pretty weird name.
Oh, he's cute.
Thank you.
I think he's turning red. I took his basic design and his name from the Metal Gear Menace of the late 20th century. But quite unlike that Metal Gear, this one was designed for peaceful purposes.
So yeah, our investigator, or our navigator is none other than Metal Gear Mark II. Where do I even begin with this? This Metal Gear is basically, if you've ever seen gameplay footage or the original trailer for Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots, or if you ever played the game, you'll have noticed that there is a similar robot with a camera built in and everything. It looks like it really does look like a handheld camcorder on wheels. And that Metal Gear is based on this Metal Gear that we just met here, and Harry built this for us. Oh man, all right. Let's ask about our blaster.
Oh, that's right. Don't panic yourself. I got it right over here. This is your blaster, the official weapon of a junker. It's got full user feedback circuitry, adjusting itself to your reaction time. In other words, it's just as good as you are. What do you think? Here, see how she feels.
It's unbelievably light.
You bet it is. This ain't one of those ray guns the Army uses. She's put together with the latest carbon polymers and ceramics, not affected by heat one bit. And her ergonomic design optimizes both functionality and firepower. Well, what do you think, Gillian?
I'll take it.
Kojima's copying Kojima, how dare. I mean, Yeah, he hasn't quite called it a Hideo Kojima game just quite yet. Yeah. But this is definitely a Hideo Kojima game. So now that we got our blasters, let's ask about other things, such as, well, what he thinks of and knows of the Snatcher menace. You're an engineer. Tell me about how the Snatchers are built. It's odd, but we've never been able to get a specimen. They're always stolen or have self-destructed. How very convenient. They have any weaknesses? They're built really well, so it's tough to destroy them outright. Try to immobilize them. They've got these slits on their head for some reason. A well-placed shot there will often destroy their control functions. That's why it's important to practice your marksmanship. What happened to this picture? Why is it torn? He's referring to the picture of him as a kid. I don't know myself. I'm told I always used to carry it around with me. With only this fragment, there's no way to try and track down your parents. Yeah, but for me, that picture is my only evidence I ever even had parents. Interesting. Okay. Well. So now we have Junker ID and cache. We also have a blaster as well, but it's probably not something we can actually investigate. Let's show him our attorney's badge. As long as you've got that, then you're a first-class junker. Let's see, what else do we need to do here? Those are odd work clothes. Let me take a look at those. Hey, what are you doing? Stop it! It looks like some kind of child's toy. A toy? I'd be interested to see what kind of toys you had as a kid. Yeah, but he's kind of cute. Let's investigate Metal Gear. Full bipedal motion system, eh? I don't want anything that's gonna slow me down. I wasn't built for running, but in case of emergency... Yeah, in case of emergency, what? Carry me while you run, please. You can't be serious. Tell me you're not serious. Also, the unfortunate your misspell here. First, you have to get used to things. The rest can come later. Use the Junker's Eye practice system down in the shooting range to get used to your blaster. You know that booth we just saw in the shooting range, Gillian? I took a look at your practice results. Not bad, you've got a pretty steady hand there, mister. I'm pleased that it actually does, if you do decide to practice, it actually does send the data, like how well you did. It kind of keeps that information in the game's memory. And in which case it actually also sends it to Harry for this bit of dialogue. Doesn't he? He seems like he can handle himself. This gun is designed to bring out the best in whoever's using it. The more you use it, the better and more powerful you will get. Even with everything I know, I could never build a monster like that. Navigators are designed from the start as a Junker's investigative assistant. On-site detection, analysis, recording, communications, you name it, they're packed with features, and Metal Gear here is the latest model. What about an attack system? Don't they carry any weapons? Afraid not, they're unarmed. After all, the main idea behind a navigator is to assist in an investigation's data management. But they do have a save function. Just use the use Metal Gear command, and then the save command. You can record the exact status of your investigation that way. In the same way, you can use the use light command to help you when it's too dark to see. I told you they were nice to have around, didn't I? How about communications? Does he have some kind of radio? Yep, there's a video phone installed. A video phone? That's right, just select use Metal Gear and then use video phone to access it. In theory, you can use it anywhere, but you just have to watch out for interference. Sometimes the signal just can't get through. Right on cue.
A video phone call from Jean-Jacques Gibson coming in. Connecting.
Junker HQ, this is Gibson. I've cornered a probable male snatcher. I'm in the abandoned factory in the M district. Request immediate backup.
Gillian, that means you. You better head out right away. Jean needs your help.
We must hurry. We'll use a turbo cycle to travel to the scene.
Be careful, Gillian.
This is a turbocycle, specially designed for junker use. In addition to three-wheeled ground travel, it is capable of hovering and high-speed flight. The vehicle is also VTOL capable, so takeoffs and landings in narrow areas present no difficulty.
A flying tricycle, huh? I just came in on one of these things.
We have been assigned this vehicle for use in our investigations.
So we're on what? Only 40 minutes in, and sure enough, trouble is afoot. We're in the turbo cycle. Operation is computer controlled. Where would you like to go? Well, obviously, we definitely want to go to the factory ruins, right?
Now departing for the abandoned factory.
We gotta provide our backup here.
My first day on the job, and now this. Ace Junker Gibson has cornered a suspected Snatcher. I wonder if this guy really is a Snatcher. I guess I'll find out now if all that training really paid off.
We've arrived at the abandoned factory. What would you like to do? We've arrived at the abandoned factory. This is where Jean called from. Very ominous. Oh, so very scary. Well, may as well just check things out. Let's look at the building. It's a battered old factory. Judging from its design, I'd say it dates from the period when manned production techniques were still used. It appears abandoned. The sky is getting quite dark. It looks like a storm may be coming in. Very poetic. This place is quite run down. It looks deserted too. The building is heavily damaged. It's probably been abandoned since the last century. There's no sign that anybody's around. Metal, are you reading anything? I can't tell from here. We'll have to move inside. Looks like we don't get any other additional options here. I mean, we can look at our possessions, but... Oh, and we do have a new option here for actually using Metal Gear. Metal Gear is basically our save function here. The video phone is basically the same as the codec from Metal Gear Solid. We can use it to contact people, but we can't really contact anyone. We could try blindly calling numbers, but most of them won't work. It has an eerie atmosphere about it. Staring at the sky like that isn't going to bring rain, you know. Well, yes, thank you.
Oh no!
What was that?
A male scream. Perhaps something has happened to Jean-Jacques. Gillian, please use extreme caution. I read multiple moving objects within the factory. This could indicate the presence of Snatchers or Insectors.
Insectors? What in the world's that?
A spider-like robot used by Snatchers as security devices. Though compact in size, they are armed with needle guns. Use extreme caution.
Going to dip out now. Have a nice evening and Merry Christmas again. Thank you so much again for dropping by and saying hello. Have a wonderful Christmas as well. Be safe. Bye, Nina. In the meanwhile, I am going to go and actually enter this very scary building. Alright, we're going in. Keep your blaster ready. Metal did mention something about Insectors, so... anything could happen in here. You might want to save frequently just in case disaster strikes. We've entered the factory. This is the spot where he placed that video phone call. Well, listen. It's uncomfortably quiet here. So let's move and advance. Alright, now moving ahead.
What the?
It's Little John.
Little John?
Yes, Jean-Jacques Gibson's personal navigator.
So if that's Little John, does that make Jean the East Side Boy? Or part of the East Side Boys? Let's look at him. Oh my, Little John's been demolished. There's no way to repair damage this bad. Yeah... This charring indicates he was hit by fire from a laser cannon. Nearly all his circuits are burned completely through. His functions have been completely terminated. Nevertheless, his memory may be all or partially intact. Where is Gibson? A navigator never leaves his runner's side unless there is a very serious reason. This is actually an important bit of information to know. We have to hurry. Gibson's in trouble. Let's grab the memory chip here.
Well, what do you think? Can you get this memory chip out of there in one piece?
I will attempt it. Now retrieving memory chip. Memory chip retrieved.
And now that we have the memory chip in our possession, let's use Metal Gear 2. I'm afraid I cannot analyze another navigator's memory. We'll have to go back to headquarters to process it. Let's just hope there's something left. Can I actually... Oh no, we don't even have the... Investigate... Nope. Look. Let's see if we can... I don't see anything that would help our investigation. We'll have to go back to headquarters to process it. Let's just hope there's something left. Okay. So this part, let's advance. Alright, now moving ahead. Let's check the motion detector while we're here. Metal, anything on your sensors? No, nothing. We're the only thing moving. Let's keep going. Advance. Alright, now moving ahead. Wait, there's a figure on the floor. Let's look at this body. I will say in advance, if you have little kids watching, may wanna have them look away for a little bit.
Oh,
Dear God.
Sean! Gibson. It's Gibson. My god, his head's been twisted completely off. Yeah. He's still warm. That scream we heard was no doubt his. What killed him? His head has been twisted off. He died instantly. It would take incredible strength to do this. There was a key in one of his pockets. Look, Jean's holding something in his right hand. You have to keep selecting the options again to get to the right hand. It's hair. He's holding several strands of hair. In addition, there is skin tissue under his nails, probably from him scratching his attacker. Let's check the corpse again.
An analysis of Jean's stomach reveals a major lesion on the caloric region of the gastric membrane.
So, Jean had an ulcer, huh?
Yes. In addition, I read a substantial quantity of partially digested organic compounds.
Organic compounds. If you can determine the composition and the degree to which the food's been digested, we may be able to figure out where Jean's been.
Sensible enough. So we now have a whole lot more options here.
Now making incision in Jean's stomach to analyze organic compounds present. Analysis complete. Results on the display. Results of the analysis indicate the organic compounds are primarily composed proteins that have been exposed to digestive acids for approximately 3 hours. Amino acid structure of the protein suggests the meat is that of a buffalo.
Buffalo meat?
Yes, buffalo meat. The results indicate that Jean ate buffalo meat somewhere about 3 hours before he was killed.
Buffalo meat, huh? Interesting. So let's investigate the key. What is this key for? I don't know of anywhere where old keys like this are still used. Simple enough. What about the... We completely searched the body. I've recorded all the images.
Now analyzing recovered hair sample. Analysis complete. Results on the display. 1. Chromosomal analysis of cells from the papilla and root reveal 46XY. Subject is male. 2. Hair color, brown. Hair structure reading of 65 indicates European subject, wavy hair. 3. Attachment of root structure and thickness of the base of the strand suggest hair was pulled out of follicle. 4. Enzyme antibody analysis indicates subject is blood type A, Rh factor negative. 5. Cell component distribution indicates presence of artificial protein compounds. The results of the analysis strongly suggest that the strand of hair was pulled from the scalp of Jean's attacker during their struggle. This strand of hair almost certainly came from a male European, blood type A negative Snatcher.
Okay, well, pretty reasonable to believe that a Snatcher actually killed Jean-Jacques Gibson. Wait, there's a scrap of paper in one of his pockets. Search the house. It's written on ordinary paper.
Now analyzing recovered tissue sample. Analysis complete. Results on the display. 1. Enzyme antibody analysis indicates subject is blood type O, Rh factor negative. 2. Chromosomal analysis of cells in the sample reveal 46XX. Subject is female. 3. Cell component distribution indicates presence of artificial protein compounds. 4. Number of melanocytes in sample indicates that subject is Caucasian. The results of the analysis strongly suggest that the tissue sample, a cluster of skin cells, was scraped from the subject during a struggle with Jean. These skin cells almost certainly came from a female European, blood type O negative Snatcher.
Maybe there's more than one Snatcher involved. Gibson said, "I've cornered a probable male Snatcher. We should search John's personal belongings. Something may turn up." And I think we just did. You're right, we might find some kind of clue. Well, it's written in ordinary paper. And I think we have everything as far as John's options for investigate is concerned. And at this point... Alright, now moving ahead. It's a dead end. Let's... I'm not picking up any sounds. Okay, let's retreat. This item is quite an antique. Metal, hang on to this key as evidence, okay? Alright, I'll store it. And let's also look at the scrap of paper. Search the house. What is that supposed to mean? Who knows? These could be John's last words. Metal, keep these as evidence, will you? Alright, now storing the paper scrap in my internal chamber.
I'm reading movement.
We got 2 runners.
Snatchers?
Unable to confirm. I suggest we investigate.
It's time. Alright, now moving ahead. A dead end? Then where does Snatchers go? It's uncomfortably quiet here. Let's look at the front. It's blocked by a cave-in. We can't go any farther. I don't see any way out from here. Are you okay, Gillian? That's weird. I was fine until a moment ago. Please stay quiet. Chat, you might be hearing a beeping sound or noise. That is definitely coming from the game. It's about... well, the game's gonna tell us about it very soon. What's wrong, Metal? Maybe it's a sensor defect, but I think I'm picking a sound off in the distance. Can you hear it, Gillian? That's odd. Seems like my ears are going out on me. Maybe it's due to a change in air pressure. Hey, Metal, aren't you picking anything up? No, nothing. We're the only thing moving. Wait, I can hear something. I can't hear a thing. Quiet. There, can you hear it? It's very faint, but there is definitely a beeping noise. Alright, now moving back. Wait, I can hear something. I can't hear a thing. Try turning up the volume on the TV. Well, I guess? Alright, now moving back. Wait, I can hear something. I can't hear a thing, yet again. I'm picking something up from the direction of Lil Jon. I thought Lil Jon's functions were totally dead. Well?
Whoa!
A time bomb?
Evacuate immediately! There is little time!
Anything could happen. You should probably save frequently just to be safe. Now that you mention it, I haven't saved even once since arriving at the factory. Fine. Let's go ahead and make a save. Alright, I'll save everything that has happened up until now. Which file number would you like to save it in? Save completed. Would you like to continue play? Continue game. Alright, now returning to the investigation. Let's retreat. In sectors, use your blaster, Gillian. Press the A button to draw your blaster. I know, I've practiced enough at the HQ's range. Thankfully simple. Not much to write home about this in sector encounter. Just point and click, basically is what this part is. Nice. The motion reading has vanished. There is still that little beeping noise in the background. I think we should probably hightail it the heck out of here.
We're getting out of here!
Sorry, I cannot go with you!
What's wrong with you? Hurry it up!
I am incapable of locomotion!
What on earth are you blabbering about? Let's go! It's gonna blow!
Please save yourself! I am paralyzed with fear!
Oh, I can't believe this stupid robot! Come on! Jeez, my ears are really ringing.
That's because you left the volume turned up.
Damn snatchers.
There is no need for concern. I have stored all the information about the evidence and the area in my memory. We should return to Junker headquarters.
Genuinely one of my favorite moments in this game is the game admonishing you for keeping the volume turned up on your
Return to
TV.
Junker headquarters.
Ooh, that was some first day.
Now entering the building. We've entered the lobby.
Gillian, I heard about Jean.
I'm sorry. I wish I could have done more.
You performed your duties quite satisfactorily.
That's right. It's not your fault, Gillian. Don't worry about it. By the way, the chief is waiting for you.
This is the chief's office.
Well, Seed, that was a pretty rough first assignment to draw. You made a great effort, though. I've studied the data transmitted back by Metal Gear, so I know all about what happened out there. It's too bad about Gibson. He was a great junker. Seed, I need you to take over for him. You're the only one I've got left who can battle this Snatcher menace.
Perhaps not too surprising that this actually happened. Yeah, of course, the game story has to set you up as the last remaining junker. Now that Gibson's dead. So let's analyze the evidence that we have. This is engineering.
Well, so our new junker has returned.
I register high alcohol levels. Harry is intoxicated.
I really thought you were better than that.
Harry!
What kind of backup was that supposed to be? If you were a better junker than that, Jean wouldn't have had to die out there.
Harry, that statement is incorrect.
Don't worry about it, Metal. Harry's right.
Jean... Sorry, it's not your fault.
Metal, would you give Harry the memory chip we pulled out of Little John?
Of course. Harry, this is Little John's memory chip.
Well, a bit of an understandable reaction on Harry's part, but we must proceed. He has been drinking heavily. I register large concentrations of synthethol in the air here. What about the brandy bottle? It's a 20th century brandy. It's Napoleon. This is odd. I thought that Harry only drank Japanese sake. What's this brandy, huh? What's this? There are numbers written on the label. It says 395644. It does not appear to be a date of any kind. That looks like a video phone number. 395644. Okay, well. I don't think he's in a state to analyze the memory chip, so let's move on elsewhere. This is the detective's room. We should investigate John's personal items. We must learn what he was doing before he was killed. I see. Basic detective work. Let's investigate the locker. Alright, let's investigate the locker. There's a coat hanging inside the locker. Check the pockets of the coat for me, will you? Alright. A chest piece was in the coat. Okay. It's a chest piece made of wood. Looks like a queen. It's a chess piece. This could mean something, Metal. Let's hang on to it as evidence. Alright, I will store this chess piece as evidence. I'm sure it must mean something. It's an old-style working desk. It has drawers installed. I'm afraid it's locked. I cannot open it. A key? Nobody uses keys anymore. As I recall, Jean had a key. Well, why don't we use the key? There's a keyhole on the front. Let's use the key. Alright, I will try the key. There is something in the drawer. Capsules. And a disc. Let's look at both. It's a floppy disk for a personal computer. It's some kind of capsule medication. It's a 5-inch floppy disk. A 5-inch disk? Nobody uses those things anymore. This disk must have something to do with Jean's investigation. Alright, I will store this disk as evidence.
What kind of medicine is this?
I'll perform an analysis. Acid inhibitors, membrane-protecting agents, H2 blockers. This is medication for an ulcer.
Jeez, it looks like Jean's stomach was really in terrible shape. Then what was he doing eating buffalo? It seems a little unusual. Perhaps there was some reason that he had to eat buffalo.
These capsules may have something to do with all of this. Let's keep them. That will not be necessary. I have recorded the results of the analysis of their chemical composition. Well, that's handy, but yeah. Where shall we go? I think we should ask Mika about where Jean-Jacques' been off to. I will close the drawer to the desk. Better shut the locker. I'm alright now, Gillian. You can't stay depressed over these things forever. Let's ask her about the Buffalo restaurant. Buffalo? I've never even heard of any places that serve that. Well... Oh, that's right. Napoleon might know something. Who's Napoleon? That Chinese informant Jean was using. He's known him ever since he was a science cop. Well, I've heard about him, but I've never met him. Why don't you track him down? After all, it is about Jean. He must have left some kind of clue, a video phone number or something? Possibly that 395644 number we just got off the brandy that had the name Napoleon on it? Maybe? But nah, we should probably do a little bit of research ourselves, if you know what I mean. This is the computer room. If there is any information you wish to study, you can look it up using the Jordan system. Yes. I am Jordan, Junker Headquarters' host AI computer system. Please insert your ID card. What? Has this thing got a personality? Okay, Junker card going in. User confirmed as Gillian Seed. Welcome to Jordan. What sort of information do you need? Well, at least it let me in. Let's, ask about Jordan ID file. Use the cursor to input the name of the person you are searching for. Input first name, then last name without a space. For example, input John Konami as John Konami. Or you can search with just the first name, for example, John. Let's try Napoleon. Napoleon Bonaparte, 1769-1821, aka Napoleon I, aka the Little Corporal, Emperor of the French, from 1804 to 1814. A brilliant military strategist, he deposed the French Directory in 1799 and proclaimed himself First Consul, saying the famous line, "The revolution is ended." Later, he proclaims himself emperor in 1804. His military and political might gripped continental Europe, but failed to encompass Great Britain. After a disastrous winter campaign in Russia in 1812, he was forced to abdicate by a coalition of French marshals in 1814. Having been exiled to the island of Elba, he escaped, briefly regained power, and was ultimately defeated at Waterloo in 1815, and exiled for life to the island of St. Helena, ending his final 100-day reign. His codification of laws, the Napoleonic Code, still forms the basis of French civil law. Well, that's good to know. Maybe we should search about Gibson. Jean-Jacques Gibson. Runner, Junker Agency, age 55, height 185 cm, centimeters, weight 78 kilograms, blood type O+, family, wife Alice deceased, daughter Katrina age 18, officer in Police Science Division since 2015, wife killed by Snatcher in Bioroid Panic of 2046. Requests and is granted transfer to the Junker Agency. December 2047, which is now, killed in the line of duty while pursuing a suspected Snatcher. Surely it's not going to have information on Katrina, right? Oh, so this is Katrina. Katrina Gibson. Age 18, height 160 centimeters, weight 43 kilograms, blood type O-. Only daughter of Jean-Jacques Gibson, won Miss 17 contest in 2046. Currently a popular model in holographic advertisements. Dislikes, identifiable by heart-shaped birthmark on inner thigh. Sure. I don't know how this information is going to come in handy, but sure. Let's back out. I think we have all the information that we're gonna need for now. While we're here, let's try and call Napoleon. Let's use the video phone. Let's dial, what was it, 395644.
Who the hell are you?
I'm an acquaintance of Gibson. I need some information.
You an investigator too, huh? Can't trust him. All right, let's have the password.
The password?
The revolution? Please input using the cursor. Okay, so it's a call sign. Let's answer this. We did get information earlier by looking up Napoleon, and that's why I kind of did that. So there's two possible countersigns to this, depending on what he asks first. It could either be the revolution here, or he'll ask for the 100 year. Since he is asking for the revolution, we just need to complete the quote, which is the revolution is an dead. And had he had been asking for the 100 year, we would have just simply typed in rain. Okay, you seem pretty real to me. Meet me at Alton Plaza in the EXG district. I'll see you there. Now what are you going to do? Well, let's leave. We know where to go now, so let's just go to the Alton Plaza. Hi Gillian, how's the investigation going? Let's not answer that, let's just go to the turbocycle. Mika, I'm heading out to check on a few things. I've got a couple of leads. Really, don't worry yourself about John, okay? Thanks, Mika. Gillian? Yes, Mika? How are you and your wife doing? What an oddly personal question to ask. I haven't talked to her in a while. Not even on the video phone? No. You shouldn't leave her alone like that. Okay, well, that's very kind of her to say. That's right. Come to think of it, I have her number written down at home. I bet she's pretty lonely. I'm sure you're right. Thanks. Be careful, Gillian. Well, if anything, that's more of a hint to us to go check out the apartment, or Gillian's apartment. So much for going to Alton Plaza directly. I understand for some of you in chat or probably already know this, but this part is completely optional. You're basically here to, if you don't already know the video phone number offhand or ahead of time, you don't need to go here. You can just directly call Jamie's number. Wow, you mean I have a place to live too? Please tone it down, Gillian. I know you have lost your memory, but isn't that carrying the act a bit too far? Just trying to make things a little more fun for the folks playing the game. Thank you, Mr. Kojima. Let's go inside. we are in the living room. For a widower, the room seems quite rather tidy. I'm quite impressed. Don't you ever shut up, are you programmed to evaluate my personal life too? My duty is to support you and observe that you are properly carrying out your responsibilities as a junker. Some observer, you mean informer, right? Well, one could put it that way. Okay. Let's look at the shelf. Gillian, there's a photograph on the shelf. Yes, that's a very special picture for me. There are some numbers written on the back. 393444. It seems to be a video phone number. Inference will tell us that this is basically Jamie's phone number, or video phone number. Yes, that's the number for Jamie's apartment. Why don't you try giving her a call? Would you let me handle my own personal life? So we could give her a call right now, but it's entirely optional, so we're just here to basically figure out what the other phone number is. So let's go ahead and... Gillian, you should call your wife on the video phone once in a while. You are not the type of person who can tolerate extended periods of living alone. Jamie, huh? So, yes, while calling Jamie at this point is optional, calling Jamie will be required at some point later on in the story for progression. In the meantime, since we don't really need to call her up right now, let's go back to the investigation and head over to Alton Plaza. We've arrived at Alton Plaza. This is Alton Plaza. This place is well known as a rendezvous spot for couples. Is Napoleon here yet? I can't stand waiting unless it's for a woman. So, some funny things I can point out in the background here. Like I said, Snatcher is one of the best Christmas games of all time. You can see at the background there where it says Great Meals, only Eat Me is highlighted, or those are the only working lights. We have a number here for Plato's Cavern, which is 691170. You're not gonna find out that phone number otherwise, unless if you wait on the screen for long enough to see that video phone number. So now that we have that, let's look for Napoleon. I don't see anyone who looks like Napoleon. Shall we wait for a few minutes? Konami is 345678, which, yeah, you could probably figure out that number if you just started typing in random numbers for the video phone. So I don't think we're going to be able to find Napoleon just quite yet, so let's go back into TurboCycle. We'll probably head back here later. The only other place that we can really check out is, well, Gibson's house. We've arrived at Jean-Jacques Gibson's house. This is Gibson's house. Let's look at the house. It is a rather nice-looking early American type home. The door in the front is the main entrance. There does not appear to be a doorbell. How about if we try knocking? Let's do that. Katrina, are you in there? Who is it? You're Katrina, right? I'm a junker. I just started down at Junker headquarters. My name's Gillian Seed. Really? Are you really a junker? If you are, then show me some proof. Proof? Your junker ID, of course. Let's show Junker ID. Well, it looks genuine to me. I can't trust you with just that. Tell me how old my father is. If you're a real Junker, you'd know that. So to find out about this, that's why we had to look up Gibson's information in Jordan. We know that his age is 55. But you could also just, you know, plain old brute force your way through this by just making guesses. From what I remember, if you were to just try and brute force this, you will be locked out after like 3 times, at which point you have to leave this area, come back, and try again. But we already know what the age is, so... How old is my father? Well, he's 55. Use the directional pad to input the numbers and press the start button when you are finished. 55 years old. That's right. That's still not enough to trust you. Now I'm gonna ask you something about myself. Okay. What is it with all of these questions? She knows that as a Junker you should have access to Alpha 1. You saw her data on Jordan, didn't you? She's a very smart girl. I have a unique mark on my body. What type of mark is it? Input your answer and then press the start button. Well, it is listed under her dislikes, and that's really the only reason why that little factoid about her is in Jordan in the first place. So, for this one, we just need to say that she has a birthmark. If I can actually spell birthmark right, that'd be fantastic. That's easy, a birthmark. That's right, now tell me the shape of that birthmark. Input your answer and then press the start button. Yeah, well, it was a heart-shaped birthmark. Okay, that's right, and finally, where is this birthmark located? On her inner thigh. But for this one, all we just need to put in is thigh. I know that one, on your inner thigh. Well, that's pretty embarrassing, but at least I know you're the real thing. Wait a minute, I'll open the door.
I'm very sorry about all of that. I'm Katrina Gibson, Sean's daughter.
I'm so sorry.
What's the matter, Mr. Seed?
I'm very sorry, Katrina. It's my fault your father's dead.
Gillian.
No, if I could have gotten there just a little sooner, your father might still be alive.
Oh, Mr. Seed, I appreciate your feelings, but I was always ready for the worst with my father. Every day as I watched him leave for work, will it be today, tomorrow? I knew it was a dangerous job.
Katrina, that's...
Well, I'm a Junker's daughter.
Do you think you'll be all right by yourself?
I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. Besides, I don't think I have any tears left.
Katrina, are you sure?
Okay, Junker, you've got work to do, right? Keep yourself busy. That's the best way to take your mind off of it.
Okay, Katrina, you're probably right. I'll appreciate any help you can give me on this investigation.
Nice. Well, let's get to investigating. I didn't really talk much with my dad lately. He was always so busy investigating stuff, cooped up in that study. Well, we'll need to investigate a study then for sure. Do you mind if I take a look in your study? Go ahead. This is Gibson's study. This is my dad's study. I haven't touched a thing. It's just the way he left it before he died. That's a lot of things we can actually look at and investigate stuff here. You can see the garden from here. A garden? Wow, his own house with a garden and everything. Yeah, but it faces north and it's really quite small. May I take a look at the garden? It's really small, there's nothing in it. Watch out for Alice, okay? Wait, he named a dog Alice? After his wife? Okay. This is the garden. The dog is a purebred Doberman Pinscher. It's an expensive breed with bloodlines and genetic purity guaranteed. Well, fine. This is Gibson's study. Let's show her the disc. A disc? It looks like the ones my dad always used on the PC-68. Which, yeah, so obviously this originally released on the MSX and then later on, I believe the PC-88? So, let's investigate check out the desk. There's a bottle, a photograph, and a chessboard on the shelf. It should be on the shelf. Why don't you take a look? It has a 5-inch disk drive installed. 5-inch, huh? Well then that disk must be for this machine. Let's try to see if we can read it. And we'll do just that. Alright, let's turn this PC-68 on and see if we can read the disk. So the house in that search the house was referring to Gibson's house. And that exclamation point was not an exclamation point at all. It was a symbol for the 5-inch floppy disk. Look closely, the pattern matches the read-write holes on the disk. He even drew a little dot to represent the index hole. In other words, it meant to put the disk in the PC-68 at his house. No doubt John was worried that something might happen to him, and he prepared the disk for just such an emergency. The machine is reading the disk. Here it is.
Snatcher investigation file. Why do Snatchers appear in the winter? Why are Snatchers nocturnal? I believe I have found the answer to these questions. Snatchers' vampire-like behavior is due to their desire to avoid exposure to sunlight. The reason they dislike sunlight is because of their defective artificial skin. Long-term exposure to ultraviolet rays causes overproduction of melanocytes in the epidermis of their artificial skin, leading to a form of skin cancer with the characteristics of melanoma. In other words, what we call simple sunburn is fatal to them. This relationship between ultraviolet rays and their artificial skin should give us a way to track them down. It should take at least 6 more months before they can develop a form of skin which overcomes this defect. These conclusions suggest several useful methods for locating and identifying Snatchers. 1. Investigate skin condition. Check for any evidence of melanoma. 2. Check for odor. Cancer cells secrete a unique foul odor. 3. The presence of pollen. Snatchers are believed to hide in areas plentiful in Snow 9, a snow-like bioengineered pollen crystal. As such, Snow 9 can always be detected in places they appear. Snow 9 is an allergen, causing throat pain and sneezing. 4. Possession of sunscreen. In order to protect their skin from ultraviolet rays, Snatchers use sunscreen even in the dead of winter. This is due to sunscreen's ability to block ultraviolet rays. Of these techniques, 1 and 4 should prove particularly useful. In addition, besides working to prevent this skin cancer, Snatchers maintain facilities for treating artificial skin which has actually become cancerous. I have succeeded in identifying the hospital where this is performed. P.S. Watch out for a bounty hunter named Random Hajil.
So that's it, eh? He found their weak point. And no doubt John was killed because they learned that he had found their hospital. So yeah, that's good information to know about Snatchers and their weak points, and that there's a hospital that's trying to treat the side effects of using artificial skin. and we're basically running out of time because they are very close to finding out a way to overcome that defect, and something about a bounty hunter named Random Hajil. I did tell you that bounty hunter was gonna come into play later, and that time is now. So, what next? Well, we did check out the desk earlier. Now analyzing. It is a sunscreen. It's the standard type designed to block ultraviolet rays. There's a sticker on the bottle. This is probably from the place where it was bought. It says to store with everything. Plato's Cavern. Well, we happen to also find out what the video phone number is for Plato's Cavern, and we're surely gonna call that at some point. This picture seems to be a few years old. Jean looks rather young. It's still full. It appears to be new. So this is the sunscreen that Gibson was talking about, eh? Is it okay if we take this? Go right ahead. I have stored the sunscreen. And let's do the same for the photo. It's a photograph of Jean-Jacques Gibson. Katrina, do you mind if I borrow this picture for a few days? No, go right ahead. I have stored Jean's picture.
What's wrong with Alice? Is there something out there?
A snatcher, maybe. Katrina, you stay here.
This is the garden. What's the matter, Alice? Is there something out here? She seems frightened of something. Well, yeah, whatever that is that's moving in the bush. The thicket over there is moving. I'm getting some interference from the streetlights. My sensors are not at full capacity. I really am not very good with dogs, you know. Something is hiding in the thicket. I read motion. Something is moving.
What? Ah, it's just a crow.
Stupid bird.
Well, so much for that. Alright, let's get the heck out of here. We still need to find out where Napoleon is on Alton Plaza. Don't worry, it was just a raven. But you just literally called it a crow. What do you... Oh, really? Alright, well... Oh, do you have to leave already? Will you please come back again sometime? I'll be waiting for you.
Let me give you my address and video phone number. Give me a call if anything comes up.
Thanks again, Mr. Seed. Take care.
We're at the Gibson residence. Let's make our way to Alton Plaza. We've boarded the turbocycle. Where would you like to go? Well, like I said, let's go back to Alton Plaza. We've arrived at Alton Plaza. So we are back here once again. Is Napoleon here yet? I can't stand waiting unless it's for a woman. Alright, alright. The whole area is decked out in the Christmas mood. I always like year-end. I enjoy the warm atmosphere of the season. You're quite a romantic, aren't you? Well, I guess. Look, some of the letters are burned out on that Great Meals sign over there. What's it say? Why don't you read it yourself, Gillian? And Plato's Cavern, that's the number we need to call, 691170. We're definitely going to call that at some point. There are advertisements on all the buildings. They put those ads on everything, but nobody reads them. Year-end shopping ideas are on display. There are many people who seem to be waiting for someone. That young girl over there, she's been waiting for some time now. One should not keep an attractive woman like that waiting. Nobody's showing. She probably got stood up. How unfortunate. I couldn't agree more. I think I'll go see how she's doing. Gillian, wait. You stay here. I'll be right back. Oh dear, there he goes. Oh, he's back. What happened? She gave me tissues. 3 little packs. I see. Passing out advertising, was she? Wait a minute. There's a video phone number printed on the back. 556666. It says Loveline. Am I really gonna call that number? Yeah, no, not really. It's not gonna lead to anywhere. I can tell you this now. There are neon signs in numerous languages. It looks like a sign factory. Yeah, with all these signs, you can't see the stars. Oh, the guy who was on the phone is headed this way. Is that him?
Well, so you're the new junker, eh?
You Napoleon?
Well, let's keep this short, okay? The Snatcher sees me here, and I'll be the next one eliminated.
Well, first thing we need to do is show Napoleon our attorney's badge. So you're the real thing, eh? But with that little walking trash can with you, you stick out like a sore thumb anyway. Everybody's probably figured it out by now. Hey, watch it. So what do you want me for? Gibson was killed by Snatcher. Do you know anything about it? What? Gibson got killed? He said something about Snatchers being after him. Okay, Gibson ate buffalo somewhere just before he was killed. Any ideas? Follow his trail and use a little intuition. Do you know any places that serve buffalo? Since that prohibition on shooting buffalo went into effect, almost nobody will touch the stuff. Well, I may have a few ideas, but I'm not a charity, you know? Okay. Hey, a man's gotta earn a living, you know what I mean? How about a little more generosity on your part? Okay. So this is basically what the cash is for. We just mainly use it to bribe, purchase information from Napoleon. So we need to use cash. Here, take it. Well, thank you. So now let's ask about the Buffalo Cuisine restaurant again. It's the only place in Neo-Kobe that serves buffalo. Convenient? Yeah, there's a masquerade club called Outer Heaven. I'm pretty sure they serve buffalo. Yes, Outer Heaven. Yet another Metal Gear reference. So let's ask about it. It's quite a famous hangout in that particular industry. It's like a big masquerade party. Customers have to wear masks or whatever, or they can't get in. That makes the place pretty popular with a lot of VIPs in a lot of high places. Interesting. Well, tell me more about the club. To get in there, you gotta have a mask from over at Plato's Cavern, or they won't let you in. So we need a mask. Okay. I'm not doing this for fun, you know. I'm gonna need a little something to get me talking. Fine. You've really got nerve. Take it. As always, thanks so much. You'll be a good junker one of these days. Yet again, let's ask about the location of the club. It's on 17th Street in the HS District. Well, that was easy enough. Let's ask about Plato's Cavern. It's a black market where you can buy without a permit. They've got absolutely everything there. I think Gibson stopped by there quite a bit himself. Why don't you go visit the place? You might find some leads. Not a bad idea. But where is Plato's Cavern? Where is it? There's a sign right over there. Check it out yourself. Why don't you ever tell me anything straight out? Why don't you take a good look around the area? Well... we don't have the option to move into Plato's Cavern, but hey, we have a video phone number for it, so... let's see if there's anything else I can ask about him. You don't need any permits either, so it is a bit on the dangerous side. You've been really helpful, thanks. Call me again if you need something. There he goes. So now, we have the number for Plato's Cavern, which is 691170.
Thank you for calling Plato's Cavern, the store with everything. May I help you?
Huh? Audio only, eh? No doubt it's because they're involved in the black market. Let's ask about where they are. Where is Plato's Cavern located? We're located on 5th Street in the Sanomiya K District. Everything in that area is part of our organization. Okay, well, about the store. Everything available at the best prices everywhere and no ID required. That's our motto here at Plato's Cavern. And there's none of that dark atmosphere that you find at so many other black market shops. Alright, fair enough. Thank you very much. We look forward to serving you. At this point, this should now give us the option to actually go to Plato's Cavern. And again, before we can even get into Outer Heaven, we do need to get a mask from Plato's Cavern. So let's go and head on over there. We've boarded the turbo cycle. Where would you like to go? Plato's Cavern, please. We've arrived at Plato's Cavern. Ah, it's that logo. I get it. Yeah, it's just the Konami logo tilted on its side. It's more like a small city than one store. Everything in this area appears to be part of Plato's Cavern. Metal, let's try that store over there. Well, wait for me. We're inside Plato's Cavern. May I help you? Can we buy happiness? Okay. Let's check the wall. Oh my, they have those special full face masks here. These masks were designed and crafted by the famous makeup effects artist Rick Bakery. They are formed using precision laser tools. What do you think? I bet you'd love this. Look, they have masks of Egyptian mummies and those Easter Island faces as well. Moai, they seem to be very well made. You've got an eye for fine art, my friend. Those are our pride and joy, our special full-face masks. I'm afraid that's all we have left. That's fine. Let's buy a mask. A full-face mask, eh? Which one will it be? They're all so good, handmade by Rick Bakery himself, you know? Let's grab the Moai because, of course, really you can't go wrong with either option. Mummies are just basically off of Castlevania, or you can go with a Moai from Gradius. Thank you very much. One Easter Island mask coming up. Thanks, that will be 1500 credits, please. And that's all we need. Let's head on out. We've left the store. We have a new option here called Smell, and this is going to lead us to one of my favorite interactions, shall we say, in this game. Smells good. That scent is coming from the food vendors. It smells good, doesn't it? Let's... investigate? There we go. There are a lot of food stands. Pizza, sushi, hamburgers, hot dogs, Neo Kobe Pizza. Neo Kobe Pizza? What's that? It's a new type of pizza where you drop your favorite pizza into a special boiling soup. And that's Neo Kobe Pizza? I wonder if it's any good. What do you mean? Its appearance has almost put other food vendors out of business. So basically ramen, except it's pizza and you dip pizza into ramen broth is basically what that is. I'm getting a little hungry. Why don't we try Neo Kobe Pizza? Sounds good. Let's eat the Neo Kobe Pizza.
All right, let's try one of these floating pizza things.
Sounds good to me.
Give us 2 regular Neo Kobe pizzas.
2 coming up. You gotta put it in the soup yourself, okay?
Okay, here we go, Metal. Here's yours.
Let's put them in on the count of 3, okay? They get bland and soggy if they stay in too long.
No problem. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Very good. Now in a few seconds, they'll come floating up. When they do, pull yours out right away, okay? Don't mess it up.
I'm ready. Come on up, little fellas.
Hey, here comes one. Oh, that's mine. Come here, you.
Nice snag there, Metal. Hey, where's mine?
Oh, this is unusual.
Oh.
I wonder what the problem is.
I want my pizza. Where's my pizza?
What's the problem? Yours not coming back up?
My pizza?
Hey, really sorry about that. Happens every now and then. You'll forgive us there, won't you now, buddy?
Gillian, perhaps we should go.
My Neo Kobe pizza. It sank just like the rest of this city's gonna.
Let's get going, Gillian.
I can't believe that. I'll never waste my money on one of those stupid things again.
My Neo Kobe Pizza! Which, things that bother me about that scene, like, why does Metal even need to ingest Neo Kobe Pizza? Couldn't Metal have just given the Neo Kobe Pizza to... Well, anyways. I don't want to think about it too much. Let's get on out of here. So now that we have a mask, the only other place that we can go, really, to get some more leads would be none other than Outer Heaven. We've arrived at Outer Heaven. If only it was that simple in, well, yeah, technically you do start off in Outer Heaven, so. This is Outer Heaven.
Welcome to Outer Heaven. Table for 1?
This guy sounds familiar. Alright, let's try on the Easter Island mask. Oh, that looks great on you. Table for 1, please. We're inside Outer Heaven. So, well, you can definitely see some very familiar faces or masks here, and costumes if you are into, or if you're a huge fan of classic Konami games. You have Simon Belmont and Dracula on the bottom left there, enjoying some drinks from the Castlevania series. Next up, you see with the spiky hair over there, that's Goemon from Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, or Gambare Goemon. You have the 2 characters from Contra, Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted? No, Bill Reiser and I forget the other guy. I keep thinking of Bill and Ted from Wonderful Adventures. And we have Sparkster on the furthest right-hand side, Rocket Knight Adventures, and the sequel called Sparkster. So what can we do here? Well, we can look at the dancer. Savor the moment, Gillian. Her dancing is really something special. During Masquerade Hour, everybody has a mask or makeup on. It's impossible to tell who is who. Everyone is dressed as a character from a classic late 20th century video game. The people who run this place must be really into old-time nostalgia. So... what is this call option? Let's call for the dancer. I'll call Isabella. Hey, Isabella, over here. And everyone just looks at you. Hi there, boys. I'm Isabella Velvet. Is there something I can do for you? An Easter Island statue and a robot? Well... oh my god, what a knockout in that litter outfit. What's wrong? Do you find me attractive? I'll investigate her. No, I think it's best if I handle it. I can manage by myself. What's wrong? Aren't you going to investigate me? No, that's alright. Let's ask about Gibson. I don't know who you're talking about. Do you have a picture or something? Yes, I do. Let's show... oh, not this one. Photo. Gibson's photo. This guy? I might have met him somewhere. No, I can't remember. She seems like she might be able to remember. Well, what do you mean? Take a careful look, okay? Oh, that's right. This was the guy who got sick after eating buffalo. I remember him. Excuse me? Well, it was just the other day. It wasn't Masquerade Hour, so I remember his face pretty clearly. He seemed to be waiting around for one of our regular customers. A regular? He was going out of his way to eat buffalo, then he spat up blood. I was really grossed out. You say he was waiting for someone? Well, I suppose it was more like he was following him. He left as soon as the other guy did. Would you mind telling me a little bit about him? I don't know his name, but he was in here all the time, especially when we weren't running Masquerade Hour. Outside of Masquerade Hour? So that means you've seen his face then. Do you remember it? I think so. Alright, Metal, let's have her come down to headquarters with us. We need to use Jordan and put together a montage. We can't take her to headquarters. Why not? Since she is a famous star, if the media gets a hold of the story and starts a fuss, it will impede our investigation. If the senators were to learn what we are up to... What are you mumbling about? This is really a delicate issue. Although inconvenient, we should take down her description, and then go back to the headquarters to build the montage on our own. Well, we don't really have much of a choice, so let's go do that. He was in here at all different times, so he probably doesn't have a job or work regular hours. Could you try to remember his distinguishing characteristics? Gillian, keep the description in mind. Afterwards, we can use it to put together a montage. What was the overall shape of his face? He had kind of a bony look. What about his eyes? He had this really piercing gaze, a rather threatening look. What kind of nose did he have? It was pointy like mine. How about his mouth? He had thin lips, I think. How was he wearing his hair? It was sort of naturally flowing towards the back of his head. And he had a big widow's peak. About how old would you say he was? He looked like he was in his 30s. Thanks very much, you've been quite helpful. I hope you can use this information. Yeah, that's yeah. So let's go ahead and finish questioning here. Thanks, I think what you've told us may help a bit. Okay, see you. We should use this information to build a montage of the suspect and then run it through Jordan to see if there are any matches. You mean like building a composite photograph? Yes, exactly. It would be nice if Isabella would come back to headquarters with us. Well, I guess we'll just have to have her take a look at it later. Let's go ahead and leave and head on back to Junker HQ. Let's see, just a cover charge. That will be 500 credits. 500? Here you go, 500 credits. Okay, that's 500 exactly. Thank you. This is Outer Heaven. Going how? Yeah, actually. Please come again. Gillian, take your mask off. You'll be laughed at if you wear that out here. Oh, good point. There we go. It's off. We've boarded the turbocycle. Where would you like to go? Junker HQ. This is the reception area. How was your day, Gillian? Are you making any progress in your investigation? Well, yeah, we're gonna have to head on over to make a composite photograph. So off to the computer when we go. If there's any information you wish to study, you can look it up using the Jordan system. Let's use Jordan. I am Jordan, Junker Headquarters' host AI computer system. User confirmed as Gillian Seed. Welcome to Jordan. What sort of information do you need? Let's create a montage. Montage mode. Select facial parts to assemble complete likeness. Alright, let's try constructing a montage photograph of the suspect. You can use the scan database command to search for possible matches when completed. Let's start with the facial shape. Isabella said the guy had a sort of bony look, didn't she? Which one? Well, 3 to me seems a bit bony. What was it that Isabella said about the eyes? Threatening, right? Threatening eyes. So let's go with 6. Eye data number 6. What kind of noses did Isabella say she had? Say he had? This is really confusing. Which one of these is a pointed nose? I would say that number 1 would be the pointed nose. Nose data number 1. So what about the mouth? What kind of mouth did Isabella say he had? I'm really baffled here. This is thin lips, so let's go with number 3. Mouth data number 3. And then for the hairstyle, how did Isabella describe his hair? Flowing with a widow's peak, right? What was it? Naturally flowing. I think that's what she said. So which would be number 2. Hairstyle number 2. Let's go ahead and scan. The Alpha 1 network will be searched for possible matches. Possible match located. Alright, we did it. Good work, Gillian. 2 possible matches for montage photograph located. Possibility number 1. Probability of match 70%. Ivan Rodriguez, air surfer, amateur, 27 years old. Address 522 South Itayado, SN District. Caution. Non-Municipal Data Administration District. Possibility number 2. Probability of match 65%. Displaying data. Freddie Nielsen, taxi driver, no company affiliation, 29 years old. Address, Dormitory Okamoto, apartment number 202, 3-78 New Okamoto, MR District. Family, wife, Lisa, age 25. Now printing montage photograph. Gillian, the montage has been printed. Now we're in business. It's a simple two-dimensional rendering of Jordan's three-dimensional data, but it should prove useful anyway. Well, we've got their addresses. Shall we pay these gentlemen a visit? One of these men is no doubt the Snatcher who killed Jean. We've almost got him now. Let's go investigate the suspects. Yeah, let's. Let's head on out to the front. Hi Gillian, how's the investigation going? Be careful, Gillian. Let's go to this new option for Ivan's apartment. Alright, now heading to Ivan Rodriguez's apartment. We've arrived at Ivan Rodriguez's apartment. This is Ivan Rodriguez's neighborhood. According to the data in Jordan, this should be his neighborhood. Ah, this place is a real slum. The data retrieval networks haven't been installed in this area. As such, there is virtually no data on the area in the Alpha 1 network. This region is almost completely isolated. Probably for the best, really. Now, I did mention earlier that we didn't need to call Jamie at the point where we were at Gillian's apartment. Now is a good time to actually call her, because otherwise we're not going to see any of these guys. So, let's see if I still remember Jamie's number, and that is 39, come on, 3444.
Hi, Jamie speaking. Oh, Gillian, how are you?
Jamie, I'm not sure how to say this, but I really want to make up with you. I want to try again. Please don't say that, Gillian. Right now, I think the two of us are better off apart. I'm sure of it. Jamie, you should probably stay indoors at night. That's when Snatchers are most active. It's dangerous. I'll be fine, Gillian. Why would they ever go after me? They only want VIPs, right? Girl, you just red flagging yourself right now. Looks like this junker business is more dangerous than I thought it would be. Gillian? But it's still not as bad as boot camp. I'm a lot more relaxed working like this as a junker. Aren't you pushing yourself too hard? Well, it's pretty scary sometimes, but now I've got a definite goal, something to live for. I was really surprised when I heard you become a junker. I'm sorry, it was really hard for me to try to tell you. That's alright, besides we live near each other, we can meet anytime. Call me if anything comes up, okay? Alright. Has anything funny happened to you lately? Gillian, if I was a Snatcher, could you kill me? Not quite the, would you still love me if I was a worm question, but, why are you asking me questions like that? Well, I don't know. I really don't. I've always liked that part of your personality, but Gillian, be careful. It could get you killed in that job you're doing. Which, sure, fair enough. Jamie, it was good talking to you. Take care. Bye. Talk to you later, Gillian. Bye. Well, that was a lovely conversation. Let's, get back to the investigation. Where would we even begin to look for him around here? Let's try asking someone in the area. Isn't anybody around? The place is utterly filthy. There are a few freemen here. Freemen? What are they? What, you actually want me to investigate him? That's right. Please, Gillian, be reasonable. Their actual lifestyle is not unlike that of the homeless. See, they're gathered around around a fire. How are they different from the homeless? Unlike the less fortunate, these people have chosen to live like this, often leaving good jobs to do so. It appears to be a form of rebellion towards the over-control of information by the central authorities. They are one of Neo Kobe's biggest problems. Maybe they know something. Why don't we ask them? Let's ask about Ivan. Hey, you guys. What? I need to talk to you. Yeah? Could you tell me anything you know about a man named Ivan Rodriguez? Is there anybody named that around here? You lie to me and you'll live to regret it. Now, calm yourself. I'm trying to remember. If they don't remember this person by name, let's see if showing them the photo will jog their memory. Do you know this man? That's that idiot Ivan. Yeah, that's the fool himself. So let's ask about Ivan once again. Where does Ivan live? He's in apartment 301 of this building. That's the kid with that weird board thing, right? You mean the guy who's into, like, Sky, don't you? I hear he's always surfing. Oh, that guy, huh? I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about. Well, we'll find out about that shortly. Let's move to room 301. Alright, let's head for apartment 301. Third floor, eh? Well, he won't be able to escape out the window. Well, I mean, he could go through the window, but whether or not he'll be safe after escaping is, you know. We're at the door to apartment 301. Let's look at the door. It's an old-style door with a small peephole viewer installed. The door is locked. It says apartment 301, Ivan Rodriguez. It's a door plate for apartment 301. It's handwritten but accurate. This is definitely Ivan Rodriguez's apartment. Yes. Well deduced, Gillian. Gillian, why don't we try knocking? Okay. I'll knock on the door. There is no answer. Okay. Since we do not have a warrant, we can't open it unless we have a key. Yes, that's correct. It's a door plate for apartment 301. There's an electric meter. It appears to be for this apartment. Let's investigate the meter. Wait a minute, electricity is being used. I read motion. Somebody's in the apartment. I'll knock on the door. There is no answer. That's funny. Who's there? Let's, talk to him. Ivan Rodriguez, I'm a junker. Open up. I've got a few questions to ask you. What do you want? First, you open this door. Alright, just relax. Sorry it took so long. Gillian, watch out. Ow.
Did I kill him?
He has only lost consciousness. Excellent shot, Gillian, hitting him in the hand like that.
That's not exactly how I planned it.
Well, may as well. Stop that, alright? Somebody save me. Well, I mean... Hey, what did you come out shooting for? You shot me once back there, you know. I don't know what you're talking about, man. You're a Snatcher, aren't you? He seems to be behaving strangely. Don't let your guard down. Let's see what's going on here. Around room? This room's really dark. I don't see anything suspicious though. The room is quite filthy. Wait, there are some trophies over here. It says runner-up 12 Neo Kobe Air Surfing Championships. I get it, he's an air surfer. It appears to be a real trophy. He looks just like the montage, but he has quite a suntan. So clearly it can't be this guy, because if he has a suntan and if he was a Snatcher using artificial skin, he would have been, well, he wouldn't have been able to use the skin anymore. Without a scanning warrant, I can't perform a full analysis, but a visual inspection reveals no cancerous skin lesions despite his deep tan. Well, that about covers it, I guess. No matter where you look, everything seems covered with grime. There is a great deal of waste packed into an old model electric suction type cleaning device. You mean a vacuum? Apparently he isn't too concerned about cleanliness. Come on, reveal yourself, Snatcher. You got the wrong guy, I swear. Aged organic materials and typical secretory organisms are all I read. There is no evidence in his garbage that he is a Snatcher. Okay, well, that... We just have to exhaust all of the options here.
Alright, buddy, time to wake up. Whoa, man, don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Gillian, while your earlier shot is justifiable as self-defense, killing this suspect would violate Section 5, Article 2 of the Junker Bylaws. You must first have concrete evidence that he is a Snatcher.
Damn.
We should search his bathroom. We may find sunscreen there.
Good point.
Okay, let's move into the bathroom.
This is Ivan's bathroom. Well, seems pretty simple. Wait, there's a bottle here. Maybe it is sunscreen. My goodness, this place is just as disgusting as the living room. An airboard is leaning against the wall. Metal, analyze the contents of this for me, will you? It's not sunscreen, it's suntan oil. It shows no signs of having been used recently. Sunscreen and suntan oil are like day and night. What is that even supposed to mean? What's so funny? Just check it out for me. There's a crack on the bottom of the board. Something appears to be jutting out. It's a plastic bag. There is some kind of powder in it. These are illegal drugs. And not only that, it looks like liquid sky, that powerful stimulant that is killing a lot of its addicts. Ah, that's what they meant when the Freemen were talking about something about this guy being into sky. Well, the floor is absolutely filthy. It looks more like the floor of a cattle barn than of a bathroom. It's really a mess. It looks like he has been washing his surf gear in here. What a horrible smell. Based on your reaction, I would say there is no Snow 9 here either. The tub is filled with dirty water. It appears completely unwashed. It's soiled in a striped pattern. I detect numerous organic residue and organisms in the water residue here. There is no evidence that he is a Snatcher here.
So that about explains everything, doesn't it?
Yes, it appears that Ivan was simply trying to conceal the fact that he is a drug user.
An air surfer, huh? Plenty of suntan oil. Out there soaking up lots of ultraviolet rays.
And tanned quite brown by those rays as well.
but he doesn't have so much as a pimple. Not what I'd call your typical artificial skin user.
Ivan is apparently not a snatcher.
All right, buddy, get up.
Hey, I only do liquid sky, dude. Just once in a while. I swear. I don't touch anything else. Don't hurt me, man. Come on. Call me an ambulance, will you?
I'm no cop. I'm a junker. I couldn't care less if you're a buyer, a pusher, or what. What I want to know is if you're a snatcher or human.
Gillian, Ivan's skin is healthy. There is no way he could be a snatcher and tan like that without developing melanoma. However, HQ has just transmitted us a scanning warrant. Therefore, under the provisions of Section 18 of the Civil Code, Snatchers and the Protection of Citizens' Rights, I will hereby commence a full bioscan of Ivan. Analysis complete. Ivan Rodriguez is a completely normal Homo sapien.
I keep telling you, dude, I ain't no snatcher or whatever. Now, would you please get me a doctor?
Why don't you just put some of your drugs on it?
Hey, I wasn't doing anything wrong, man.
The friendly boys from narcotics will be here any time now. Save your breath for them.
Come on, dude, I ain't done nothing. I'm just into air surfing. I just wanted to win the competition, man. I needed some money for that, okay? Hey, it's just drugs, man.
Well, Ivan Rodriguez sure wasn't our man.
Too bad for him that he happened to look like the snatcher we're after. That leaves Freddie Nielsen.
Don't do drugs, kids. Alright, well, the only other place we can check is Freddy's apartment. And what are the odds that Freddy is the actual Snatcher this time around? Surely nothing untoward will happen, right? This is Freddie Nielsen's building. According to the data, he lives on the second floor, apartment 202. Well, this is our last suspect. Will he be the one we're looking for? Gillian, I suspect that he is the one that we're looking for. This is apartment 202. The second floor, right? Let's head up. This is it, apartment 202. Don't forget what happened at Ivan's. Be very careful, Gillian. Now, here's the thing. Even if you do know that Freddy is with knowledge ahead of time, even though if you do know that Freddy is the one who we're looking for, you still are obligated to, and you're railroaded really into searching Ivan Rodriguez's apartment first, for whatever reason. Can't just sequence break immediately into searching Freddie Nielsen's apartment, at least as far as I know. Let's give it a little knock. Still no answer. I wonder if somebody's in there. Well? Plate? It says 202, Freddie and Lisa Nielsen. The door has a peephole. There's no mistake, this is definitely Nielsen's apartment. The door is locked. Did we exhaust all the options? Nielsen appears on a nameplate. It's a very well-built metal door. The nameplate has an IC chip for data confirmation purposes. There's no mistake. I read motion. Someone is inside. I wonder if he's really not home. Well, considering the thing that happened over at Ivan's apartment. Someone's in there. I definitely picked up motion. Alright, I'll knock. There's no answer. Maybe they cannot hear us. Third time's a charm. Who is it? I heard a voice. Hey, in there, open up. I'm a junker. I've got a few questions to ask you. Huh? Hey, in there, open up. Okay, well.
A junker? All right, just a minute.
Gillian, please use extreme caution.
Huh? A woman?
I'm with the Junker Agency. Is this the home of Freddie Nilsson? Yes, it is. And you are... I'm his wife, Lisa. Exactly what can I do for you? Pretty good looking. Great job, Gillian. Well, investigator, you have good taste in women. What's with that look on your face? You don't believe me, do you? If you want to scan me, you'll have to show me a scanning warrant. Without one of those, junkers can't scan civilians. I know the law. Well, she's right. As a matter of fact, we are investigating your husband on the suspicion that he may be a snatcher. Freddie? Freddie a snatcher? That's ridiculous. I can't believe that. What, my husband a snatcher? Where did you get a story like that? I have a montage photo I'd like you to look at. Can I take a look at that? Sure, since you asked for it. That's my husband. I can't believe my husband is a snatcher. There must be some mistake. Well, I don't know what to tell ya. That's why we need you to tell us about your husband. He's out right now. I'm not sure what time he'll be back. Have you noticed anything strange about your husband lately? Well, now that you mentioned it, lately he hasn't been in the mood to, well, you know. Could you be more specific? Gillian, please. You see, he drives a manned taxi, but lately he's been taking walks at night without going to work. Walks at night? Well, that seems to be a lead. Well, now that you mention it, he has been acting a little strange lately, but a snatcher? Gibson, who's that? Have you noticed any changes in your husband's body or health lately? No, has appetites as big as ever. No, nothing. How about his skin? Anything odd? His skin? Well, I haven't seen much of it lately, but I'm sure it's fine. What a funny euphemism for that. Your husband is a taxi driver, right? Is it one of those underground cabs? A black taxi? Are you trying to frighten me? So it is a black taxi, right? Yes, he drives a black taxi. But so what? They will probably be legalized in April, right? So what's the problem? That's not what we're worried about, ma'am. If your husband is a black taxi driver, then there are no records of his working hours, right? In other words, the only way to establish an alibi for him is to use a by the testimony of others. Okay, that makes sense. What's this? There's some kind of map on the wall. It's a rather old 2D printed map. What is this a map of? That's not Neo Kobe, is it? This is a map of the city of Moscow. Moscow, huh? That place has been little more than a ghost town since the catastrophe. Yes, but this map was no doubt produced before the catastrophe. What on earth could that possibly mean? What's this map? I don't really know. My husband bought it and stuck it there about 4 months ago. Have you experienced any sneezing lately, even though you don't have a cold? Sneezing? I haven't had a cold yet this year. This montage photo was produced using a computer from the testimony of witnesses at the nightclub. Well, it does look like my husband, so... Really? It could be just a coincidence, of course. On Thursday around 8 p.m., was your husband at home or working? Thursday? Oh, that's right, that was one of his days off. He was home. He was watching the launch of the first colonial expedition to Mars, the Beagle Jerusalem, on TV. Are you sure about all that? Yes, but that evening I went over to a friend's house. I wasn't with him all night. My friend's brother is the pilot of the Beagle, you know.
This isn't enough to prove that our Freddie Nielsen is a snatcher.
True. Without more evidence, we cannot get a scanning warrant.
We'd like to take a look in your bathroom if you don't mind.
Oh, you need to use the bathroom?
No, we'd like to investigate your bathroom.
Really? Whatever. Please, go right ahead.
This is Freddy's bathroom. Go right ahead, check anything you want. I'll be out here. This is a pretty fancy bathroom, but I guess in 2047 bathrooms will look this sophisticated and futuristic. I don't know. Alright, let's have a look. It's filled with water. Yes, it is. There's something funny about this bathtub. There is no faucet. This is an unusual bathtub. Rather odd for a system bathtub, isn't it? Okay, that's fair. A very attractive bathroom, and sparkling clean. Yeah, compared to the last guy. It's a very attractive system bath unit. Look, you can see your reflection in the mirror. Despite everything, it's still you. Jeez, I've always been such a handsome devil. The mirror has electrical wires within it which heat up to prevent fogging. That's pretty neat. Wait a minute, haven't we seen that bottle someplace before? There is no secret compartment on the mirror or in the cabinet. It's the same one from Plato's Cavern with the Konami logo. What's this? That's the same container as the one we found at Jean's. Alright, I will analyze the contents of the bottle. There's no mistake, this is sunscreen. Sunscreen in the middle of winter, eh? And it looks like it's been used recently too. Uh-oh.
There's no mistake. Freddie Nielsen is a snatcher. Gillian, with this much evidence, there will be no difficulty getting a scanning warrant.
We've got you now, snatcher scum.
So, you figured it out, huh?
Who's that?
Uh-oh.
Know all about us, do you, Junker?
That wound.
Jean did that to her.
Die, Junker!
Wow.
Jeez, those things don't go down easy. So, this is a snatcher, huh?
I certainly hope it's dead.
That's probably like the best luck I've ever had as far as where the weak spot was showing, or which part of the grid it was showing up in. 5 in a row in the middle, I don't remember ever getting that. Alright. Well, yeah. Who would have thought? The green hair lady that we sort of saw in the background way back in the factory that was running, well, was Lisa Nielsen. It appears to be dead. Yeah, no kidding. Damn, those things are tough as heck. Its functions appear to have been completely terminated. So that skin tissue we found under Gibson's nails came from this woman, huh?
So it was Lisa and Freddie who killed Jean.
Freddie, that's right. So where's he?
We can contact the junk collection team later. Let's get out of this apartment for now. We're outside now.
What the? A light just came on. There's not supposed to be anybody in there.
Perhaps Freddy has returned.
There's only one entrance, and we're standing right next to it. How did he get in there?
Shall we investigate?
Uh-oh. Well, that's an interesting, thing to happen, right? There's only one entrance, or exit. How did the lights come on? And we definitely checked the apartment, and Freddy was not there, or there wasn't any sign of him. That's interesting. That's funny, I could have sworn it wasn't locked. It's an electronic lock, someone must have activated it. This is a standard electronic lock, I can open this without too much difficulty. This appears to be the only way in or out of the apartment. Yeah, like I was saying. I don't think they will open up if you knock, Gillian. I'm reading motion. Someone is in there. How?
Metal, open it.
Okay, now establishing Alpha 1 link. Link made. Executing search for lock code of apartment 202.
Hurry it up!
Just a bit longer. I'm in Alpha 1's maintenance records for the MR district. Lock code found. Now opening the door.
Good work!
We're in the living room. I'm not picking up any sounds. Interesting. I don't see Freddy anywhere. There is no sign of anyone in this room. It's in the same condition as it was a few minutes ago. It hasn't been touched. I don't hear anything besides us. He doesn't appear to be in this room. There is nothing on my infrared sensors either. Motion. I read motion coming from the bathroom. To the bathroom we go. Metal, you ready? Let's go. Okay. This is Freddy's bathroom. The water's drained.
Huh? The bathtub is empty. That thing was filled with water just a few minutes ago.
I read motion. This room!
Damn! Where is he?
Gillian, behind you!
I've had it. Gillian?
That was close. You're lucky I was here to save your skin. Who are you? Me? Random Hajil, bounty hunter.
Bounty hunter?
Yes, Gillian, a bounty hunter. As the junker profession is so dangerous, their numbers have fallen dramatically over the past few years. As a result, the government decided to put a price on Snatcher's heads in order to encourage private citizens to cooperate in the effort to track them down. Naturally, these bounty hunters must register with the authorities.
You said your name's Random, right? What did you do? Follow me here?
Yeah, you got it. Investigations aren't my style. You track them down, I take them out.
You have the legal obligation to state your bounty hunter registration number. Please do so now, immediately.
BH75001, Random Hajil. That's RANDOMHAJILE.
BH75001, Random Hajil. That's confirmed. I officially recognize you as a legal bounty hunter. Wow. Gillian, records indicate that he has already disposed of 3 Snatchers just this month. Counting Freddy, that makes 4.
4?
I've been at this a lot longer than you have. Just relax, rookie. So, Junker Boy, let me give you a little tip. You might already know, but Snatcher's weak point is their artificial skin. If they sit out in the sun too long, they get cancer. That's why they set up a hospital to treat this little problem of theirs. You find it, you can take them out, roots and all.
Where did you get all your information? Wait a sec. You stole it from Gibson, didn't you?
That's not really important. But now that Gibson's out of the picture, I need you to get busy.
I track him down and you junk him. Is that the idea?
Anyhow, it seems Gibson found that hospital. He must have left behind some information about it.
What do you mean, seems? Don't you know anything about it?
Hey, investigations are your job, right?
I owe you one, Random.
Yeah, I'll get it out of you later. See ya, Junker boy.
A Snatcher-controlled hospital, eh? There's bound to be more than a few of them in there.
And that is the end of Act 1. Yes, actually. So we're going to go ahead and make a save here, and this is actually where I will cut the stream short. I will be back again tomorrow at a much earlier time for Act 2. Act 1 is, I think, the longest one. But the action and the suspense and the tension and everything does escalate rather quickly in Act 2. So thanks again for watching. Thanks again for sticking around if you're still in the chat. Or if you were here at any point in the stream, thank you again for dropping by. Have a wonderful night, and see you next time.